Hello all, these are the worked solutions to group work B6. If you have a projectile with a 0 launch angle, which means that it's going like horizontally, it's being projected horizontally at a 0 degrees to the horizon. So we start with Kevin. Kevin's got a little baseball cap on, he's got his little Nerf blaster, and it says that he shoots his little dart gun and the projectile lands 9.52 meters from where it was shot, and it was launched from 1.47 meters above the floor, and that's all the information you get. So these values that are being asked to calculate is the change in this position in the x dimension, the change in position in the y dimension, and the initial velocity. So we don't know the initial velocity, but it tells us the other two, basically. It tells you how far did it move and how far did it fall. So those are the two givens, and this is the unknown. So in order to solve for the unknowns, the first question is to calculate the time that the dart is in the air. And so with the amount of information we have, you need to understand that the dart is leaving with an initial velocity only in the x direction. So your initial velocity is only in the x. The velocity in the y is 0. It's not falling. It's at this point right here where it is like at the very peak of a parabola. So the initial velocity in the y direction is just 0. So those pieces of information, even though they don't tell you that, the words don't tell you that, but the situation does indicate that this is 0. And if you're trying to figure out the time that something is in the air is dependent on the y dimension. Doesn't depend on the x. These two things are separate. They're independent. So the time depends on the y dimension. And so your initial, I set the bottom right here, I set the initial position to be 0, and that means that this height that it was launched from is 1.47 meters, which means that the displacement in the y dimension is negative 1.47 meters. We already mentioned that the velocity in the y is 0, and the acceleration in the y, I should indicate that that's the y dimension, is negative 9.8 meters per second squared. That's always going to be the acceleration of gravity, and gravity, we usually set our coordinate system so that gravity goes straight down. So in this case, it's negative 9.8 meters per second squared. So you can simplify these two y terms. Like this whole thing, this large equation, this is the a term, here's your b term, here's your c term. It's basically a quadratic function. Ax squared plus bx plus c can be written as a position in time and velocity and acceleration equation with these variables. You can simplify it if you understand this term is 0, and then this is the displacement if you subtract the initial from the final. So this is my simplified version of the larger equation. So the displacement is 1/2 of the acceleration times the time squared, and I rearranged the variables before I solved for them in this case. So I multiplied both sides by 2, multiplied by 2, that's why we get 2 delta y, and then I divided by a, and then divided by a, and then we have the squares, so we take the square root. So that's how I ended up, 2 times the displacement in the y divided by a and the square root. So after you rearrange the equation to solve for t, you end up with a time of 0.55 seconds. Now, the component format is using these notations of I and J, and if you're in pre-calc or you have taken pre-calc already, you will have seen this before. If you haven't taken this class yet, basically all I'm asking you to identify is what is the velocity in the y dimension, and it's 0. And to determine the velocity in the x dimension, we just have to understand that it traveled 9.52 meters in the x in that time. So the dimension of the x is 17.3 meters per second. And since the final the final initial velocity is only at 0 degrees, all of the velocity of the dart comes from the initial velocity in the x dimension. So the final magnitude and direction of the dart is 17.3 meters per second at 0 degrees. Now this is the same question because they're sharing a Nerf blaster. So this blaster is going to have the same initial velocity, but in this case it's no longer at 0 degrees. Now you launch it at an angle, so that angle is given from the problem, 30 degrees. And Connor is a little shorter, so his height is a little lower, which means the displacement is less. And he's got a cowboy hat on. So after you look at this triangle, so we know that the initial velocity of the Nerf blaster is the same, whether you're launching it at an angle of 0 degrees or 30 degrees. So this is the same. But if it's at an angle, that means now you have separate components. And so we can determine those two components. So it's fine if you just identify that V naught in the y dimension, so that's the vertical component of the velocity, that's 8.65 meters per second. And the horizontal component is 15, which is less than it was if it was at 0 degrees. But this is definitely more than 0 meters per second. So these are the two components. If you want to write them in the I and J format, that's fine. But I just will ask you to identify what was the vertical component of the velocity initially, or what was the horizontal component of the velocity initially. Basically, you just need to understand that this one plus this one produces this one. Okay, now we have a new calculation for time. All right, it's really the same formula. It's just that the velocity in the y direction at the beginning is different than it was at the beginning in the problem where Kevin was shooting the Nerf blaster. So the displacement again is going to be negative 1.13. So final minus initial, negative 1.13. And this is the part that's different. You have a positive initial velocity in the y dimension, so that's pointing up. But then the acceleration is pointing down. So those two are opposing. So you end up with, here's your AT squared plus BT plus the C term. And from here, you might recognize, like, this is a quadratic equation. You could go off and do the whole negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Like, that's how you solve these, right? So in your math classes, you've learned this. Honestly, in physics, I don't mind if it's permitted in your math classes. You can program a quadratic equation solver into your calculator and use it and type in the A term and the B term and the C term. And if you do that, it reports two values. Because of the quadratic equation, you get the plus and minus versions. So the two times that are possible are 0.14 and 1.62. And so you just need to understand which one is it. And sometimes it will be obvious. Sometimes one of these terms will be negative. But it isn't in this case. They're both positive, so the test that I did was to quickly just like, all right, well, if the time is 0.14, how far will it travel? And so I used both velocities, and based on the situation, it seemed evident that the 1.62 seconds is the one that is accurate, because when you take 15 meters per second times 0.14, it would have only traveled 2 meters. Or something like that, something short. Whereas without even an angle, you go 9 meters. If it was at 0 degrees, it would have gone 9 meters. So I compared the known value from the previous problem to both of these options, and it's evident that 1.62 seconds is the time the dart is in the air. So after you have determined the time, now we can determine the range, because that is the time for which it travels and the velocity with which it has when it leaves the dart gun in that dimension. So The constant equation is just velocity times time plus your initial position. And if you set this to be 0, up here, let's just make this the 0 meter mark. So there's 0 meters. That sets your initial position to be 0. And so your final position is just velocity times time. And when you do that, the total range, if launched at this angle with this initial velocity, is 24.3 meters. So that's it. If you have any questions, let's talk.